وَيُعَلِّمُ الْكِتَابُ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, I covered again by saying Al Ibrahim. I covered that, I answered that, how the Al Ibrahim is Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Khulafa Rashidin. We're going around in circles. لَن يَسْتَنْكِفَ, you didn't answer. لَن يَسْتَنْكِفَ مُسْتَقْبِل. Yastankifa. When will this happen? Not on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Your main dalil that you mentioned with regard to Surah Al-Ma'idah, you say that Paul misguided only a small amount of people. What you think? Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam went all the way to Kashmir, stayed there for well over 70, 80 years, while Paul is going around and challenging James, the disciple of Isa alayhi salam. The Christians claim he's the brother of Isa alayhi salam, and he deviates all the Bani Israel. Paul and Isa alayhi salam stays peacefully in the snowy mountains of Kashmir. That doesn't make any sense. It goes against the Quran. As for what you mentioned, وَيُكَلِّمُ النَّاسَ فِي الْمَهْدِ وَكَهْلًا, and it's hilm. Hilm just means forbearance. Hilm means forbearance. So what if he said kahla is forbearance? I'm saying to you that if Isa alayhi salam talked, he would defend his mother, because the Jews carried on saying slanderous things about Maryam alayhi salam, even to the point that they carried on past the year 100. When according to you Isa alayhi salam was alive in Kashmir, he would have defended his mother then as well. But according to your reasoning, he didn't. Then you also missed out the point with regard to kafaftu Bani Israel. Why are you not taking this as dalala qat'iyya? Kafaftu Bani Israel contradicts your entire belief. We believe Isa alayhi salam was not harmed in the least in that way, because crucifixion entails disgrace. Yes, Anbiya alayhi salam were killed. That is true. We're not denying that. But the Romans, when they would disgrace the person who is crucified by taking his pants down and displaying that to the entire world, we believe this will never happen to a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is disgraced in such a way. So kafaftu Bani Israel means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you didn't answer it. And you said, I said to you, makaru wa makarullah, you said, it doesn't mean completely. I said to you, no, I'm not verbatim. I'm saying the mafhum of what you were saying is that they could have harmed him somehow, but I'm saying it contradicts grammar, because wa makarullah is what in like nakira, revise your mullah jami, and wa makaru wa makarullah, nakira, i'ada. What happens? It negates it completely. That contradicts your entire belief system. It brings down all the foundations that you've brought up. So I will remind you that mutawaffika wa rafi'uka come together. They come together. They are atf. Ma'tuf and ma'tuf alayh. Ma'tuf and ma'tuf alayh do not have tartib. True, they do not have tartib. It doesn't mean it has to be in tartib. It can be taqdeem and ta'khir. True or false? Yes, they do not need to be. One does tafsir of the other. And that is the dalil qat'i. That is the dalil qat'i. Mutawaffika wa rafi'uka ilayya. That what happens, one tells us that Isa alayhi salam was taken completely, body and soul, and rafi'uka ilayya tells us that he was raised. Otherwise, remember, and one more point, you did not counter my point about al-haqiqa wal-majaz. I've said to you, never, the Jamaat can never give their rules for al-haqiqa wal-majaz. I said to you, al-aslu fil kalami haqiqa. You didn't counter that. I said to you, la isti'arata fil a'lam. This is why I mentioned Damashq. La isti'arata fil a'lam. You go after haqiqi, meaning you go onto interpretation based upon your own teachings. It's not based upon anything from what is known from the language of the Arabs. Instead, you selectively, like you did with the ayat al-Quran, you selected. Each one has a qarina, like rafa'a. All the ayat you read about rafa'a, they all have a qarina to another meaning. All the ayat you read on yatawaffa, they all have a qarina to the meaning of death or the meaning of sleep. I gave you a third meaning which you asked for. I provided that, and that of course includes the entire debate. None of these points I believe you can counter.
Just 1 second.
So just the conclusion left from your side.